everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer, and today I have the Tom Ford Holiday collection. This is, I guess, technically the Soleil collection. There are two quads and there is a lipstick, and lipstick is very reflective. I've wiped off fingerprints and then I get them right back on the minute I touch it. Literally the minute I touch it. And it's lip blush. And I'll compare it to some former ones, but this one is clear and it has silver particles. The former one that I have is clear and has gold particles. So we'll look at the difference. Supposedly this is gonna create like a pinkish hue. I have not tried it. I have not tried it yet. So we will try that out. And I don't have anything on my lips today. And then of course, the two quads. We have Chalet Lust and we have Apres Ski. So I'm going to open these up and show them to you. This is Chalet Lust. I do have swatches over on Instagram already on my skin tone and my husband's so that you guys can see it on a deeper, more olive skin tone. His skin tone is deeper, but we did it on the inside of his arm instead of the outside of his arm. You can see the outside of my arm is warmer than the inside of my arm. But it would be kind of hard to swatch this part of his arm. It would be a little hairy. So this is a Apres Ski. Now, I already have these on my eyes. And I'm going to cut to the chase here. And we're going to get to, I'll swatch and I'll get to comparisons. But here's the thing. Here's the Apres Ski. It's actually a very pretty, shimmery, light look. It's warm. It's definitely warm leaning. And like I said, we'll try it next to the others. I have a bunch of different Tom Fords, Metal Lust, First Frost, New Dip, Honeymoon. There's a whole bunch. So we can take a look. But it's not super pigmented. It's pigmented enough. And I think it's going to work on a lot of people. You'll see it on the Instagram feed. It definitely shows up on a deeper skin tone. It's not super pigmented. You can see it on my skin and I'm really, really pale. It does kind of blend into one a little bit. And the other one, the Chalet Lust, absolutely blends into one. Now, the reason is these are all very shimmery shades. The last shade, and when I swatch it, you'll see what I'm talking about, is definitely a topper. It's pretty, but it's a topper. The first shade is probably the most opaque of all the shades, and even that one isn't really opaque. I would say the Chalet Lust is it's a quad of toppers. Or if you like a really, really light, when I say light, I mean lightly pigmented in a way that it's going to show up on your eye. It's going to look shimmery. And I'm leaning into the camera so you can see it, but there's not a lot of depth and you're not going to be able to get different looks with it. I've tried it in a couple of different ways, like putting different ones on at a different time. I get the same look pretty much every time I do it. And it's because these are shimmery, light, almost topper type shades. And my roots are so bad. I don't really care about the roots except for the fact that they're white. And so now when I have roots, I look like I'm like it looks like I'm losing my hair, but it's just white. But anyway, that's my own problem. Back to the makeup. Yeah, with these four shades, it tends to look like one shimmery shade. It's actually pretty. And I think on a deeper skin tone, actually the contrast will be greater and will show up more than it actually does on me because it kind of blends into my skin tone. I think there's a market for this. I think there's going to be people who like it. But I just want to say, it's $90. Each one of these is $90. For me, again, this is just my take, I would not spend $90 to get this. I would spend $90 on the velours khaki and the violet satin or sateen. They are both stunningly beautiful. And there are two very distinct color stories there, green and plum, purple, whatever you want to call it. So that's where I'd spend. If it was me, if I was deciding and I had, okay, I can buy one or I can buy two or whatever, I'd pick those two. I'd pick the velours and the violet. That's what I would buy. I would not buy these. Again, that's my personal taste. I think this is pretty, but again, I feel like I could get this with like one shade from maybe like a single Chanel or a single Sydney Grace or a lot of singles, frankly, guys. So for me, neither one of these is worth the money. Again, my take. If you're somebody who really likes a very light, a very, ethereal look and you love the Tom Ford formula, I will say this formula is much nicer. This is not like the Raw Desire palette where it was hard for me to get the pigment out. I could create a good look, but it took a while. This did not take me any time at all. It went right on the eye. It blends beautifully. The formula is really very good. It's not as good as the velours and the violet. It's not as good as that. It's not as creamy as that. But it's a very nice formula. It's a very good formula. It wasn't hard to get out of the pan. You'll see when I swatch it. It swatches easily, all of those things. And I do think it's friendly to a more mature eye. So that's all. I think the formulas, it's not like it's not what I was worried about. It's not that. And if it was like $50, I'd be like, for $90 though, it just seems to me that you're not getting, I don't know. Again, this is my personal opinion. Maybe there's people who will think this is the best thing ever. So do I think they're pretty? Yes. Do I think they're worth it? No. So let's try the lipstick. And I'll swatch it next to other lipsticks, but I just want to have some lipstick on while I'm doing this because I feel very pale. I do have on the Moodlight, the new Moodlight highlighter duo. And what I would tell you about the new one versus the old one, I don't know why Tom Ford changed the formula. I've been asked a couple of, is it more clean, friendly? What is it? I don't know because I don't have the ingredient. I don't have the box for the old one. So I don't know if this one that's why they reformulated it. It's like they took out ingredients people don't like. That's possible. I will say though, it actually does look very nice on the skin. I do think it looks very pretty. Does it look that different than the other Moodlight, the old one? I'm going to be doing a comparison of that so you guys can see it, but honestly, I can't tell a distinct difference. What I would say is that the new one is almost like more shimmery and the old one's more satiny. Do you need the new one if you have the old one? No, you don't. You just don't. If you don't have the old one or you never bought the old one and you're a similar skin type, Moodlight's a good choice. It's very pretty. But my point is that I feel very pale because the looks are so light. And again, they are pretty, but they're so light that I feel like I should have gone heavier with like something. I do have Tom Ford Explicit blush on my cheeks. And I do have Tom Ford Terra bronzer. But again, I think I should have gone in a little heavier because the look on my eyes is so light. I feel like I need to balance it. If I had a red lip, that would be perfect with this. But I'm not doing a red lip today. I'm doing this. So let's see what it looks like. Well, it feels very balmy. I'll give it that. My lips are very dry today. Like very, very dry today. Okay. I don't like the shade that it comes out. But I guess it has something to do with your chemistry of your lips. I don't really know how this works. But it's pink. It's like Barbie pink, which I don't love. However, I will say the balm feels good. It feels nice. Maybe it'll set in a little bit better. We'll see. I'll compare it to some other balms in a minute. All right, so let's swatch the Apres Ski here. And we'll try that next to Honeymoon, because that's the one that everybody asked for. I think that's fair. And I can do it next to Chalet Lust as well. So you'll see when I swatch these that actually they swatch beautifully. The formula is very smooth, very silky. Like I said, it's not the creme formula. It's the wet, dry, like very smooth formula. It's very nice. It feels beautiful on the, like when I swatch it, I'm like, oh wow, that feels really pretty. It feels very silky. And it swatches really nicely. The shades are all really pretty, but there isn't a discernible difference in the shades when you put them on the eye because they tend to blend. This one is the lightest, of course. These are more warm toned, and then you've got this sort of cooler bronze. I think if you used like 2 of them, you know, like this and this or this and this, I think you'd actually get, in my opinion, a better look. I think they tend to blend a little on the eye. There's some difference, there's some depth, but not a ton. But they are very pretty. And you can see that there's at least pigment here. And for somebody who likes a lighter look, somebody who likes less of a makeup look on their eye, you know, something very subtle, yeah, I think this would be very pretty. Again, I think you can achieve it with less money, but that's a different discussion. All right, so honeymoon. My honeymoon is like very old and very broken. Honeymoon feels the same, feels like the same kind of formula. Don't feel a discernible difference. I think it's more pigmented, but we're gonna find out for sure in a second. Okay, definitely more pigmented. So this is the Apres Ski and this is the honeymoon. The color story is similar. These shades especially are very close. This one has more pink, more burgundy, and this is definitely a deeper brown. But yeah, I could say that there's similar color stories. The honeymoon is much more, it's much more intense than the Apres Ski. Let's say you love honeymoon, like you love the color story for honeymoon, but you feel like it's too pigmented for you. Like you feel like it's too much. This would be a good choice because it's a similar color story. Again, I think you could do it with a different price point, but you love Tom Ford and that's what you want to get. Totally understand that. So yeah, I would say this is a good choice. If honeymoon is too pigmented for you, too intense for you, I would go with the Apres Ski. Again, I think the formula is good. I like the Tom Ford formula. I like Tom Ford. I'm just saying the prices have gone up quite a bit. I mean, when I bought these back in the day, I don't remember how much I paid, but I thought it was closer to like the $60 or $70 mark. It seems like to me like it's gone up quite a bit. Of course, everything has gone up quite a bit. But anyway, all right, so let's do Metal Lust, which is going to be different. But I think, yeah, I can do it here. I think it would be helpful for you guys to see it. Metal Lust has a different formula altogether, I feel like. I don't know what he did in this one that he hasn't done in the others, but the matte in here is super, the 2 mattes are super silky. Like even more than the creme, which is odd because like the cremes are pretty silky, but these are even more so. And the shimmers in here are like the days of old. He's got shimmers in here, you'll see them in a second if you don't own this quad, that are just spectacular. Like they're just amazing. I'll go like this so you can kind of see it. So here's Metal Lust. Here's the new Apres Ski and here's Honeymoon. I think you can see Metal Lust and Apres Ski, they're not the same at all. Very different. Metal Lust is a much browner, cooler look. Apres Ski it's got more warmth to it. It's more satin, almost shimmer. These are definitely like glittery. I like them, but they are more glittery. The new ones, the Apres Ski is not. It has more of the same formula as Honeymoon, and a very similar color story. I would say it's like a step down from Honeymoon in terms of pigment and intensity. The formula is actually very good in the new one, and I do like it. And I'll say this like 9 times because I'm going to get emails from people or texts from people saying, how can you say? I do like it. I think it's very pretty. I'm just saying the shades, especially these 2 shades, and this shade tend to meld into one another on the eye. So what happens is you get a look that kind of looks like 2 shades instead of 4. That's what happens. And even if you try to separate them, it doesn't matter because one's not a matte and one's a shimmer so that you get a density, like you get a depth. That's not what happens. What happens is it all just becomes sort of a satin look. And you can get a little bit lighter by using this one and trying not to put anything over it, which is what I did, and concentrate these on the outside. But the minute these three touch, they kind of blend. Again, it blends really nicely. It looks very pretty. If we're talking about, you know, where to spend your money and whether something's worth it, I think you have to take into account, can you get the same look with the same type of formula at a cheaper price? I think you can. I do think the Tom Ford formula is extremely good. But what I would say is I think there are, in my opinion, products out there that are really good that are a lower price point. So yeah, let me wash off my hand and then we'll do the Chalet Lust. Okay, I will say I'm liking the lip balm a little more, but it's pink. It's a bright pink. Maybe that's the color I should be wearing. I don't know. It's very pink. Again, we'll try the other ones in a minute. Okay, so here we go, and I'm gonna try to keep this one a little smaller because I have more comparisons here. This is the Chalet Lust, and I will tell you that it's actually really pretty. Like, when I swatched it, I was like, oh, it's so pretty, because it's all sparkly and shimmery, and like, for a holiday, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, okay. But the thing is, in my opinion, it looks kind of better in the swatches than it does on the eye, because on the eye, all you get, you can see, it's really hard to show up. This is the most opaque of them all. That's the first one. And the rest, in my opinion, are toppers. This is a satin, and these are just all toppers. So if you're looking for a very super light, ridiculously light group of toppers, yeah, totally for you. All right, so this is the Soleil d'Hiver. Someone told me how to pronounce this, and now I've forgotten. d'Hiver. I think that was it. All right. So we're going to see how this one compares. This came out. I need to start putting these things. I've been thinking about putting these things in like a pivot table so I can keep track. Way too much stuff at this point. And I have a backlog of products to try for you guys. Pat McGrath and Clé de Peau and so many others. And I'm getting there, guys. But I've been on work travel, and now I'm getting my face lasered again. So you don't want to see me put makeup on right after I get my face lasered. It's not pretty. That is d'Hiver, Soleil d'Hiver. A lot more pigmented than Chalet Lust. I mean, a lot more. It actually looks more like Apres Ski, which I'll swatch over it later just so you can see it. But yeah, I'd say it's more like Apres Ski. All right, let's try First Frost. Maybe First Frost is similar. We'll try. Okay, first shade is, okay. So far, no, it's actually more pigment. Okay, but it's similar. First Frost is similar, but more pigmented, guys. I hate to tell you. It's First Frost. So again, Chalet Lust, First Frost, Soleil d'Hiver. Still more pigmented than, it's really a very light, satin, and then toppers. Okay, Nude Dip. Nude Dip is definitely going to be more, but here's Nude Dip. And I'm doing 2 swatches of each so that you can see it, because sometimes, you know, I'm using my finger, I'm putting it on my skin, not my eye, so it doesn't show up as like it would exactly on the eye, but should be close. Nude Dip is one of my favorites. It's a really pretty, neutral. It's a good quad for a lot of people. I'll put my hand like this so you can see it, okay? So here is Chalet Lust. Here is Soleil d'Hiver. Here is First Frost. And here is Nude Dip. Definitely all more pigmented. All right, let me take the Apres Ski and put it over the Hiver. I know how to pronounce it. d'Hiver. It's the closest I can get today, guys. Sorry. Again, I know if I had more time, maybe someday. Maybe someday. And I want to mention again, I'm going to be doing this FabOver40 competition. So I'm going to be putting the links out there. I'll have it in this video. I'll have it in every video, but the voting starts the 10th. So that's Monday the 10th. Okay. I'll talk more about it later. All right. So here is the Chalet Lust. Here is the new one, the Apres Ski. Here is Soleil d'Hiver. You can see that there are some similarities, but there's one much deeper shade in Soleil d'Hiver than even the Apres Ski. And then you've got First Frost and Nude Dip, which I think you can see are still deeper than Apres Ski even. And I'll go down one more time. Apres Ski, Chalet Lust, Soleil d'Hiver, First Frost, Nude Dip. So, what are my thoughts? Like I said before, I think these are pretty. I think the formulas are good. They're not the formula that I hate that doesn't work. Swatches easily, it blends on the eye, it went on nicely. I think the Chalet Lust really doesn't, I think there's it's gonna blend into one shade, maybe two. The toppers are beautiful and you could use them for another look. In fact, I'll put it on this other eye so you can see it in a minute. I think they're nice complements to one another, but in my opinion, if you're looking to what to buy from Tom Ford and you're only going to buy certain pieces because they are expensive, I would go with the khaki and the violet, depending on what color story you like. Maybe you don't like green. Maybe you don't like violet. I totally get that. If you're looking for a very, very light look, I would go with the Apres Ski because I think that one, at least there are different shades in there and I think there's some pigment and I think it looks very pretty. This one to me just seems like toppers, to be honest. I think it's pretty, but I think, the other ones, the other Soleils, I think have more oomph to them, more something to them. So again, it's personal opinion. Maybe this is exactly what you've been looking for. And if so, here it is. So, I mean, it really is personal preference at this point. Hopefully I can, it helps you decide by seeing them in comparison to all of these others. All right, so the balm. So let me show you in comparison to the lip. There's a Balm Frost, a lip blush, and a Sunlit Rose. Yeah, there's tons of these. Okay, so let's use the one that looks exactly like it, but is just gold. This is Lip Blush. And this new one is Lip Blush Balm Intense. Balm Intense? No, Balm, okay, I'll get it in a minute. Balm Tente, yeah, they're both the exact same name. Okay, that gets confusing. There must be different shades because that's the only thing that makes sense. Okay, so here's the gold one and here's the silver one. Let's do it that way. Let me put it on the palm of my hand and we'll see if there's a difference in shade. So let's do the new one. That usually gives you, the palm of your hand usually gives you close to what your lips are going to look like. Not exact, but it's close. And you can see it's a very pink shade. Barbie pink. It's very balmy though. It feels nice. All right, let's try the gold one right next to it. Put the gold one right here. Okay, as the gold one develops, you can see it's pink as well, but it's not as bright of a pink. It almost has more of a purple. But it's still pink. My undertones are pink, so this is not a huge shock for me. Let's do the Satin Frost, which was this one. My hand is gonna look so weird. People are going, what did you do? That's the Satin Frost right there. And that one has like a gold speckle. Like that's the one that had, if you could see it, so I put it in front of my hand. See the speckles in it, like the gold. They don't go through the lipstick, they're just on the outside, but it does look pretty. Stop focusing on my face. There we go. Yeah. So that's that one right there is the, what is that again? I always remember the names of these things. Balm Frost. Balm Frost. Okay, so that's Balm Frost. These others are Lip Blush. Okay, and then this one is Sunlit Rose Lip Balm. And this came in the white case. Looks like that. This one's my favorite of the balms. You'll see why in a minute. So that one has like a peachy tone to it. I have the Sunlust lip gloss too because I love the shade of it. So here's a new one, which turns a very bright Barbie pink. Here's the gold one, that's what I'm gonna call it. It has more of a purple cast almost. Here's the Sunlust, is it Sunlust? God, I have no brain anymore. Sunlit, ugh, Sunlit Rose. And to be honest with you, I think it looks peach. At least it goes peach on me. And then here's the one that's the sparkly one, that's the Balm Frost. And it just has like a, it's like a goldish sparkle to it. It looks really nice on the lips though, with like a lip liner. I actually like that one a lot. So I don't love these because I'm not a huge pink person. I don't wear a lot of cool, very cool pink. This is not what I wear. So it's not the shade that I would go for. But if you're somebody who likes a pop of bright pink, if it actually goes the same shade on everyone, which I don't know if it does, because who knows. But it's likely to go a similar shade. So at least it'll go pinker because as you can see, the Sunlit one definitely goes more peach. So it's got a pink cast to it and you can see it on my lips. It's pink. It's a bright pink. Do I mind it? No, but it's not like, again, it's not my favorite shade. It is cool looking. I'll give it that. And it is $58. So something to keep in mind if you want to pick it up. I will also say, once you put it on your hand, so I'm using a microfiber towel to get it off, it does stain, which actually is a good thing. Like if you're trying to keep something on your lips. So it will stain your lips. That's kind of nice, you know, keeps your lips, if you like the color, it will keep them that way. Okay, so that's it for today. My final thoughts are, the formula is good. It's not a bad formula. I don't think that it's that one that you're gonna have to like struggle with. I don't think that at all. It's very smooth, very silky. I think the Apres Ski has more pigment. The Chalet Lust, I'm gonna take this gold shade, which again, these are all, except for the first one, they're toppers. And I think you could put it over, see how you get more of like a shimmery look. I think you could do that with any of these shades. Yeah, see, looks really pretty on top. Yeah, I think that actually looks quite beautiful. I would struggle with this one, trying to get a look. What I would say is the first shade, the shade here, that's the one that has some opaqueness. So if you put it on with your finger, I'm doing it now so you can see, and you pack this on, you're gonna get some opacity. You have to use your finger, it doesn't really work with a brush. If you use your finger and pack it on, you'll get some opacity, but it's a very gold, you can see it. It's a very gold shade, right? It's almost like platinum. Very pretty, but it's one shade. And then the rest of the shades are just gonna be shimmery on top. Again, it's very pretty, but it all becomes one shade. Can you see what I'm trying to say? Like it doesn't, they blend together beautifully, but there's not really a way to get different looks out of this. I think you could use this to enhance another look like I did here. But I think you're always gonna get this icy gold look. Again, pretty, if that's what you're looking for, here it is. But for the price point, I just think it's a lot. I think it's a lot for the price point. Again, just me. Okay, I think that's it. That's it for today. Like I said, I have a backlog of stuff that I need to get to, and I will, I promise. More stuff going up as soon as I can. It's just a little, you know, schedules. And I'll have information up. I'll have the link down below to vote for me on the 10th. I'll keep doing it, and I'll keep telling you guys about it. I would greatly appreciate your vote. It's not something I intend, I know I won't win. There are people out there who have like huge networks of people. I just thought it'd be something fun to do, and like, again, something I've never done before. So, you know, you should do things every once in a while that push you outside of where you feel comfortable. So I'm gonna do it. So if you would vote for me, that would be great. All right, I think that's it. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.